For years, the name Jeffrey Epstein has been synonymous with power, wealth, and a deeply disturbing network of abuse. Tonight, we delve into a trove of newly unsealed documents, offering the most comprehensive look yet at Epstein's world. These aren't just rumors or whispers, these are flight logs, depositions, and evidence inventories, primary sources that paint a stark picture of the man and his associates. We'll examine the individuals named, the allegations leveled against them, and what these documents truly reveal about a scandal that continues to reverberate. One of the most prominent figures entangled in the Epstein web is Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime companion and convicted accomplice, claimed in a 2016 deposition that she could only recall being on Epstein's infamous Caribbean island with Prince Andrew once. However, witness accounts paint a different picture. Johanna Sjoberg, one of Epstein's accusers, alleges a disturbing encounter with Prince Andrew at Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. She describes being asked to participate in a bizarre photo opportunity where she alleges the prince touched her inappropriately while a life-size puppet of himself looked on. These allegations have cast a long shadow over Prince Andrew despite his vehement denials. The fallout has been significant. In 2022, he reached an out-of-court settlement with Virginia Giuffre, another of Epstein's accusers, for an undisclosed sum. While the settlement is not an admission of guilt, it further fueled public scrutiny and ultimately led to Prince Andrew stepping back from his royal duties. The Epstein files, however, offer no smoking gun, no direct evidence of criminal wrongdoing by the prince. This chapter, like many in this saga, leaves us with more questions than answers. The unsealed documents reveal a connection between former President Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein, a connection that goes beyond mere acquaintance. Flight logs show that Clinton flew on Epstein's private jet, dubbed the Lolita Express by some, on multiple occasions between 2001 and 2003. And these trips included a humanitarian tour of Africa with celebrities like Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker also on board. While the flights themselves are documented fact, their implications remain a point of contention. Some, like Johanna Sjoberg, have alleged that Epstein made inappropriate jokes about Clinton's predilection for younger women. However, a spokesperson for the former president has categorically denied any knowledge of or participation in Epstein's criminal activities. Clinton himself has acknowledged knowing Epstein but downplayed their relationship, characterizing it as casual and maintaining that he was unaware of Epstein's crimes. The Epstein files, while shedding light on the extent of their connection, do not provide definitive proof of wrongdoing by the former president. Before ascending to the presidency, Donald Trump was a fixture in the same New York social circles as Jeffrey Epstein. The two were photographed together at parties in the 1990s, and their names appear in each other's contact books. Johanna Sjoberg, in her deposition, claimed that Epstein once suggested they visit Trump's casino in Atlantic City, but she maintained that she never personally met Trump. Trump, for his part, has stated that he knew Epstein, but that their relationship soured years before Epstein's arrest in 2019. The newly released files do not contain any direct allegations of wrongdoing by Trump related to Epstein's crimes. However, the documents do serve as a reminder of the two men's past association and the questions that continue to swirl around it. The Epstein files read like a who's who of the rich and famous, with names like Michael Jackson and David Copperfield appearing in various contexts. Jackson is listed as a guest at a dinner party at Epstein's Palm Beach estate, while Copperfield is documented as having attended a dinner and performed magic tricks at Epstein's home. While their presence at these events doesn't necessarily implicate them in any wrongdoing, it does underscore the reach of Epstein's social circle and the allure of his wealth and connections. Sjoberg, for example, recalls Copperfield asking about the rumors surrounding Epstein and the recruitment of underage girls. The files are littered with names like Mick Jagger and Sergey Brin, highlighting the vast network Epstein cultivated. However, it's crucial to remember that the mere presence of a name in these documents does not equate to guilt. Many individuals may have had purely professional or social interactions with Epstein without any knowledge of his criminal activities. The heart of the Epstein case lies in the harrowing accounts of his victims. Virginia Giuffre, perhaps the most vocal accuser, has been unwavering in her accusations against Epstein and those she claims participated in his abuse. In her deposition, Giuffre named several high-profile individuals she alleges Epstein directed her to have sex with, including Prince Andrew, billionaire investor Glenn Dubin, former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, and the late MIT professor Marvin Minsky. These are serious allegations, each carrying the weight of potential criminal culpability. However, it's important to note that all the men named have vehemently denied Jeffrey's accusations. To date, none have been criminally charged in connection with the Epstein case. The inclusion of these allegations in the unsealed documents underscores the gravity of the accusations against Epstein and those in his orbit. While these allegations are just that, accusations, not proof of guilt, they demand scrutiny and highlight the need for a thorough investigation to determine the veracity of these claims. The recently unsealed documents represent just a fraction of the evidence collected during the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. This initial release, dubbed Phase 1 by the Department of Justice, offers a glimpse into the meticulous record-keeping that characterized Epstein's operation. The flight manifests, for example, confirm many of the previously leaked itineraries of Epstein's private jet, while they solidify the social ties between Epstein and various high-profile individuals. They don't necessarily prove criminal activity. The infamous Little Black Book, a redacted version of which was included in the release, lists hundreds of names and contact details of politicians, celebrities, scientists, and even royalty. It's a stark reminder of the vast network Epstein cultivated, but it's crucial to remember that having one's name in this book doesn't equate to guilt. Perhaps most chilling is the evidence inventory from Epstein's homes. Agents seized dozens of recording devices, CDs labeled with phrases like girl pics, photo albums, sex toys, and even cash-filled envelopes dated 2008, a period when Epstein was serving time in a Florida jail. These items paint a disturbing picture of Epstein's alleged crimes and hint at the potential for even more damning evidence to come to light. While the release of the Epstein files has provided a wealth of information, it's essential to acknowledge what's included. Conspicuously absent are any mentions of figures often at the center of online speculation, such as Meghan Markle or high-ranking members of recent US administrations. Furthermore, the documents themselves don't contain photographic or video evidence, only references to their existence. This absence of visual documentation fuels speculation and makes it difficult to fully grasp the extent of Epstein's alleged crimes. Perhaps most importantly, the files don't reveal a definitive client list, a document that would definitively prove who, if anyone, engaged in sexual acts with underage girls procured by Epstein. The legal and political fallout from the Epstein case continues to this day. Ghislaine Maxwell, convicted in December 2021 on 5 federal charges, including sex trafficking of a minor, is currently serving a 20-year sentence. Her appeal for a retrial was denied in 2023, solidifying her fate as Epstein's accomplice. Financial institutions that facilitated Epstein's financial dealings have also faced consequences. JP Chase and Deutsche Bank, both of which had Epstein as a client, have paid over $400 million in settlements to victims. Additionally, a victim compensation fund has distributed more than $125 million to those who suffered abuse at the hands of Epstein. Despite these legal and financial repercussions, many believe that true justice has yet to be served. The Justice Department, under pressure from Congress and the public, has pledged to release additional documents in future phases. The hope is that these future releases will shed light on the full scope of Epstein's crimes and hold accountable anyone who aided or abetted his abuse. Navigating the Epstein files requires a discerning eye and a commitment to separating fact from allegation and outright speculation. It's crucial to remember that confirmed contact, evidenced by flight logs, photos, or emails, merely places an individual in proximity to Epstein. It does not in itself prove criminal wrongdoing. Allegations, primarily in the form of sworn testimony from victims like Virginia Giuffre, are serious accusations that should be thoroughly investigated. However, it's essential to remember that, to date, no one beyond Epstein and Maxwell has been criminally charged based on these allegations. The online world is rife with speculation, often blurring the lines between fact and fiction. The absence of a name in these records does not guarantee innocence, nor does the presence of a name definitively prove guilt. The Epstein files offer a valuable piece of a complex puzzle, but they are just that, a piece. We must resist the urge to jump to conclusions and instead demand a thorough and impartial pursuit of justice for all involved. The unsealed Epstein files offer a chilling glimpse into a world of wealth, privilege, and alleged abuse. They confirm what many have long suspected, that Epstein, aided by his vast fortune and connections, created a network of exploitation that ensnared vulnerable young women. While the documents provide valuable insight, they also underscore the need for continued investigation and accountability. For the victims, justice is long overdue. They deserve to see those responsible for their suffering held accountable. The release of these documents, while a significant step, is just the beginning. The fight for justice must continue until all those complicit in Epstein's crimes face the full force of the law. We must remain vigilant, demanding transparency and accountability from those in positions of power. Only then can we hope to achieve true justice for the victims and prevent such horrific abuse from happening again.